It's oh so quiet.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome back to the wonderful world of G.I. Joe comics!
Last time we looked at issue 57, where the Joes teamed up with Destro. This was a direct follow-up to issue 56, where at the end we saw Destro leaving for Scotland. But also in that issue, Snake Eyes got captured by Cobra, and the last panel informed us we'd have to buy the yearbook to see how that would turn out.
And that's why we're taking a look at the comic story that was in Yearbook 3!
It was called Hush Job. The cover of the yearbook itself is about the story, so we'll take a look at it. And first impressions are... Jesus Christ!
No, literally!
I mean, just look at how Snake Eyes is presented here, like Jesus on the cross. That's a little on the nose there, comic. Of course, it's not 100% faithful. For one thing, even though historical accounts are sketchy at best, I'm still pretty sure there weren't any ninjas at the crucifixion.
Though, of course, we can't rule that out completely.
Anyway, the cover shows Scarlet and Storm Shadow trying to rescue G.I. Joe's Lord and Savior.
So let's turn our scriptures to the opening page.
It shows the Cobra helicopter that's transporting Snake Eyes arriving at the Cobra consulate building in New York. Yeah, an aircraft full of terrorists flying towards a tall building in New York.
It was the 80s, okay?
The Baroness and Mindbender land on the roof with Snake Eyes hogtied. This is observed by Scarlet flying with Slipstream in his conquest. And by now, you may have noticed something. There's no words spoken. There aren't even any narration boxes.
That's of course intentional.
This story is both an homage and a sequel of sorts to issue 21, Silent Interlude, which didn't have any dialogue either. In that issue, Snake Eyes went on a mission to rescue Scarlet from Cobra, but here the roles are reversed. Though in Silent Interlude it was a solo mission, while here Scarlet seeks out Storm Shadow for help, who I assume agrees to help off-panel. Yeah, I've always found this a bit strange in both the Silent issues. There's clearly dialogue happening, but it's between panels.
This doesn't make me enjoy the concept any less though.
Back at the consulate, Snake Eyes is being subjected to the brainwave scanner. And we see images that are basically a rerun of stuff we saw in Snake Eyes The Origin. So that's a nice treat for longtime readers. Apropos of nothing, this is a really great panel of the Baroness looking at the operation. A disguised Storm Shadow is making his way there using the New York subway, and we get one of the few instances of text seen in this story, in the form of graffiti. Most of it is harmless, but on the left there's a yellow half letter plus a C and a K. Now, the full word could be sick or suck, but it could also be a more inappropriate four-letter word. Still, that's open to interpretation.
What's far less open to interpretation is the text on the rightmost doors.
MOER and FUER, with the middle letters obscured by the open door. Yeah, not much room for interpretation there.
I can't believe they got away with that, really.
And no, I'm not counting the biggest obscured word in the middle, since that's clearly meant to be cult, like it says elsewhere in a smaller tag. Anyway, Storm Shadow is a bit of a dick here, as he intentionally hits a punk in the shin, and they go after him. Now, I am pretty sure they were gonna try to attack and rob him regardless.
But still, dick move.
With his sword, he slices their heads, hair off, making a bold fashion statement and jumps off, at a sewer access point to the consulate. Meanwhile, a perfectly innocent and harmless old cleaning lady makes her way into the consulate. As much of a threat to Cobra as any other old lady, providing that lady is Granny Weatherwax. Yeah, they show us it's Scarlet by revealing part of her uniform. It's kinda funny that in both follow-up stories to issue 56, the women leads dress up as old ladies. Storm Shadow continues his journey and encounters two Cobras with the worst jobs in the world, eels guarding the sewers.
That's like... Dude, I hope they get hazard pay.
Because unlike what those lying Ninja Turtles cartoons tell you, New York sewers are not a fun place to hang out in. Back with Snake Eyes, he's actively suppressing their efforts to tap into his memories, in another rare bit of text we see. Honestly, this kinda feels like the comic is cheating. They could have made this visually clear on the screen that shows his memories. Meanwhile, yes, this is another one of those where half my script is just the word meanwhile, Scarlet is discovered by one hell of a security system. It immediately knows she's armed, which is fine, but also that she's an intruder. I mean, it's a Cobra building. Everybody is armed.
How does it know which armed person is an intruder? And don't tell me it's because of the disguise, because I gotta believe that in Cobra even the cleaning ladies would be packing.
The jig is up and the Baroness opens the vacuum cleaner only to reveal some sort of animal. Yeah, I had no idea what this was at first. It looks like a bobcat or something, but it's supposed to be Timber, a freaking wolf and companion to Snake Eyes. It's just really weirdly drawn here. We leave this scene as Storm Shadow has arrived in the basement, which appears to have a bat problem. Well, it's a bunch of red ninjas that were just hanging out there, no pun intended, as security, I guess? Seems like a waste of highly trained resources to have them guard the basement in the off chance somebody comes in through the sewers.
Hey, just because this highly unlikely event did in fact happen doesn't make it any less dumb.
He fights them for 2 pages, and the depiction of that is very good indeed, as was usual for the comic at the time. And Storm Shadow ends it by setting the whole damn basement on fire.
Yeah, Stormy's kind of an asshole in this story.
His buddy Snake Eyes has now completely blocked the brainwave scanner and can overcome it enough to break his arm restraints. In fact, he overcomes it so hard the freaking monitors explode. Think about that. Snake Eyes can concentrate so hard he can make a machine explode.
Damn, is he Neo? Are they all in the Matrix?
He gets tackled and attacked by like all of the Cobras for his efforts, but at that moment his old buddy arrives to even the odds and throws him a sword, so they dispatch their foes quickly. The red ninjas, however, have escaped the blaze below and are blocking their escape. Instead of fighting them, they use their swords to pole vault over the red ninjas, and it's a good thing the guy with the freaking spear was too surprised to lift his weapon a few inches, and they get out, but not before setting them up the bomb.
Now, I know you can't see an expression on Snake Eyes' mask,
but I'm still gonna say that after all the crap he's been through, he gleefully pushes down the detonator, making the whole top floor explode. They make their way to the building's entrance, only to be met with, like all of the Cobras again, and even the Baroness sneaks up behind them. She then proceeds to escort them out of the building with all the troopers just watching. Yeah, I think these guys were trained by the Dreadnoks too. The ruse is revealed as Mindbender finds the Baroness in her underwear, tied up with some Cobra troops, as we see Scarlet take off her disguise.
and we'll get to that fetish fuel later.
But first, I have to ask, in the last panel, where the hell did Timber come from? He wasn't with them as they walked out, and now he's just there outside. Can every freaking animal in G.I. Joe teleport? Also, these two ninja masters, who can identify somebody by their heart rhythm, their breathing, and loads of other ways, seem totally surprised this was Scarlet. Snake Eyes I can excuse, as he's been through quite a bit.
But Stormy should have known, considering that he and Scarlet planned this together.
And that was his job.
And it was a great comic. I really enjoyed it.
But how does it stack up to Silent Interlude? Well, I do prefer Interlude for one big reason. In it, Snake Eyes went in solo to rescue Scarlet, and they fought as equals to get out. I would have preferred if His Job had done the exact reverse, with Scarlet going in solo too. Especially since that's what they were going for here, a mirror of that issue. I can understand why they included Storm Shadow though, as he was in the original too, but as a bad guy, so they flipped that situation. But honestly, I don't think Scarlet would need any help to get Snake Eyes out. Well, except from Snakes himself, just like they teamed up to escape before.
Other than that, yeah, great issue.
And hey, the Baroness in her underwear, Scarlet dressed as the Baroness. I'm sure this comic led to some sexual awakenings back in the day.
No, nobody should confirm that in the comments. Feel free to keep that one to yourselves, folks.
This isn't the first time we've looked at Yearbook 3, by the way. I reviewed the second shorter story, My Dinner with Serpentor, during his main character May. While that one was just 5 pages long, His Job was basically a full-length regular comic. The other parts of the yearbook talk about the cartoon, show some pin-ups, and comic book covers. And they recap the previous year's storylines, but that's my job, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, while editing, a thought hit me. Scarlet was clearly vacuuming, while the wolf Timber was inside the vacuum cleaner. Damn, that must have been one pissed off wolf when it got out. Though that does explain how they managed to overpower the Baroness and her guards.
Well, I'll see you next time, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
It's oh so quiet.